What's up guys, today we're reviewing the August 11th edition of Friday Night Smackdown. Let's go. So starting off, we had Charlotte Flair taking on Asuka, in which was a big way to start the show, and it was a very good back and forth match, with Asuka hitting a missile dropkick and Charlotte delivering a crossbody, and a very unique handstand clothesline, with the Queen then following up with a patented spear. And just as she was going for the figure 8, we got the emergence of the Women's Champion Io Sky, which nearly got Asuka the victory. But as the two competitors were fighting it out, Io emerged from the sky and took them both out with a missile dropkick, causing a disqualification. Now, I believe this was the right move, as neither lady could afford a loss, and having a DQ protects them both. And with Io Sky not having a challenger right now, I am intrigued to see where things go. Maybe we could get a triple threat match, Io Sky, Charlotte Flair and Asuka. I'd be down for that. After that, we got Takeda Braxton interviewing Santos Escobar as he was preparing for his United States Championship match when Austin Theory blindsided a member of the LWO, leaving him potentially injured for the bout later on. Our second singles matchup was a dream match as Karrion Kross went one-on-one with AJ Styles, and it was a decent match. One of the cool spots was AJ going for his phenomenal forearm before Karrion caught him in the sleeper. And yes, there was a slight error in the match, but at the end of the day, it's not easy being a professional wrestler, so I give my hats off to both competitors for coming out strong in the end. Also, could we talk about how AJ Styles is 46 years old and still hits an incredible 450 splash? That probably would have been it if it weren't for Scarlett grabbing Karrion's foot on the ropes, but as it looked like AJ was going to seal the deal, Scarlett distracted the Phenomenal One and got sent flying across the announce table by Meacham for good measure. And after a Pele kick, AJ was able to hit the Styles Clash and pick up the victory. I'm hoping that the feud has now come to an end and both competitors can go in different directions. Next up, it was the Rated R Superstar, as Edge made a surprise appearance on SmackDown, and he talked about how next week it will be 25 years since his debut, which is amazing. The fact that he was able to have the accomplishments he had and then come back to wrestling is just inspiring. But there was a man he wanted to face next week, and it was the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. The reason being because if it wasn't for Sheamus and him doing a bite challenge back in 2019, Edge might not have returned to the Royal Rumble back in 2020, or be in wrestling at all. And Sheamus actually retorted and thanked Edge for giving him the best advice he ever heard and inspiring him to follow his dreams all the way back in 2004. And the two men agreed to battle it out next week on SmackDown, with a good old handshake. However, Sheamus did bring Edge in and tell him that he made a mistake, so either way, I'm looking forward to this, and I think this could be a start of a good feud for both superstars. Also, I have no idea who's going to win. Let me know in the comments below. After that, it was a continuation of the Yeah movement, as LA Knight took on Michael Cole's best friend, Top Dollar, and it was what it needed to be. Dollar showcased his strength and natural power, while LA Knight showed off his athleticism, hitting the tag team competitor with a bulldog and the blunt force trauma for the 1, 2, 3. And after the match, he talked about how it doesn't matter where he is, whether it's Raw or SmackDown, and it doesn't matter if you're awesome, wink wink, or if your name's Phil, which I don't think Top Dollar was too happy about, but it's LA Knight's game. And yeah, I do think after his feud with The Miz, he's gonna go after a title soon. I don't know which one, but I can see big things on the rise for the megastar. Up next was Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, as they mentioned the attack on several of the tag teams in WWE from last week. And Bobby mentioned the untapped potential of both Montez and Angelo, before saying that SmackDown needs some new blood around the place. And I really like the idea of this group, as the Almighty has been on fire as of late. And for the Street Profits, I think giving them this cool edgy vibe, it could do wonders for them. It was championship time next, as Santos Escobar took on Austin Theory. Is what I would have said if Theory didn't injure Escobar earlier on, as the Master of the 619 took his place, and this was a good match. It was the experience of Ray against the power of Theory, with Ray taking out Theory with a Hurricane Rana on the outside, while back in the ring, the United States Champion took out Ray with a big boot, but Mysterio was able to fight back, hitting a 619 on the back of Theory, but as he went to hit it again, the champ caught him, but the pain was too much as the Master of the 619 dialed it up, hit the splash and became the new United States Champion. This was a really nice moment, especially after everything Ray's been through over the years with Dominic, and I just think it's kind of cool that they're both champions now, one of the United and one of the North States. Maybe they could do a unification match. But yeah, I know what needs to happen next. we need Santos Escobar versus his mentor Rey Mysterio. The story is right there. Escobar beat Austin Theory, who was the champion. He also beat Rey, but it was because of an injury. And then Santos gets injured, and Rey not only takes his spot, but he wins the title that Santos should have won. And it definitely protects Austin Theory, considering he was meant to fight a completely different opponent that very night. It was the main event segment next, as the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns made his way down to the ring alongside Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa. And who interrupted but none other than the man who everyone hates right now, Jimmy Uso. And Roman thanked him and said that he can have anything he wanted. He could even make him main event Jimmy Uso, before Jey Uso cut him off, wanting an explanation from his brother about why he did what he did. And Jimmy's reasoning wasn't about him being jealous, and that it was actually about him not wanting his brother to become the Tribal Chief, because of the power that comes along with it, like Thanos. No, I'm kidding. He basically said that he didn't want his twin brother to become corrupted and manipulative like Roman. And if his twin brother became champion, where would the Usos go? He then asked Jimmy to hit him as payback, but Jey wouldn't oblige. But he did take out the Tribal Chief with not one, but 2 super kicks, before taking out his brother with a super kick for good measure. He then said that he's leaving SmackDown and that he's leaving the WWE, which I don't know if that's the case. I think it's a storyline, and I am intrigued to see where it goes. And if you want to take it one step further, you could have him appear on shows that are non-WWE, but we'll see where it goes. But I am glad it wasn't the whole jealous brother storyline, and they actually put a twist on it. It's like Jimmy didn't want to see the evil that could have become had his brother become champion. But yeah guys, that is SmackDown. Overall, it was a really great show. We had new matchups made for next week for Edge and Sheamus. We had a new champion in Rey Mysterio. And we had Jey quote unquote leaving WWE. But what did you think of SmackDown? Let me know in the comments below, subscribe, and more importantly, take care.